Last time here on Total Drama World Tour Simulator that we were in somewhere to be in another part of the world. That's right. It was a sword fight challenge in Greenland to see who did the best parts so far. That was the challenge was awesome, and yet Josh had won the challenge and won immunity. Did so well on that one. So, anyways, it's time we will head on to this episode here and right now. Unfortunately, to see where all this apparently continues right on ahead. And just as in for another fact, by the way, that pretty much Josh had sent Trent all the way home, which of course once again that Trent was eliminated by Josh and Alejandro's sneaky evil backstabbing manipulation to get rid of Trent. Well, that pretty much almost serves him a little bit out of the plane, but unfortunately, yet again, Trent was eliminated due to by Josh and Alejandro's sneaky idea and manipulation of their alliance to the very final end. So, here we are, and right here and now, who is going to win and who's going to come right to the near finals in the end of here, right now, of Total Drama World Tour Simulator. All right, everyone, it is time to begin the show, and let's do this in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Meanwhile, with Josh and Gothlistic Girl in first class. And as in for Josh, man, he looks like he was pretty happy to finally have Trent eliminated for the last time. And of course, that he, on the other hand, is going to have another sneaky advantage to go on and face against Duncan himself. Like, it's going to be bad guy versus bad guy. And that's going to be an interesting battle to see how that will go on out. But Goth Listiger, on the other hand, said it was pretty mean to vote off Trent. Wow, guess no wonder why how Trent is lucky to have pretty much to do so. But let's just continue back to the point, which I'm not going to ask. And as in for Josh, apparently, that he, on the other hand, was pretty much still likely to be more luckier than pretty much anything when hit him like a hog. Or pretty much on the street of the hog. Get it? Like it's a groundhog and doesn't get whacked anywhere. But anyway, as in for sure is enough, that looks like Gothlistic Girl, she just got him, she just got him fast right there. Which she also said, by the way, that I know what your game is, and I know you're into Sally, and I'm like, oh dang, looks like Josh is really gonna go on at it. Which, of course, Gothlistic Girl figured out and totally almost exposed Josh's almost interesting side plan that he has a thing for Sally. Which I'm like, oh damn. But anyway, looks like as in for Josh, he apparently doesn't really care, and he's not even into Sally. He's only just wanting to pretty much steal Duncan's two girls, apparently, or maybe just Gwen for general, but let's just continue right on back. But anyway, looks like that's going to be a long argument between Gothlistic Girl and Josh to go right back at each other in the face, which is going to be interesting. So, here we go. And meanwhile, in the back of the plane was Sally and Alejandro and then Duncan. And as in for Sally, by the way, she was thinking about how far she came to win the $1,000,000, and she was thinking about how her and Gothlistic Girl can do this in the finale and still continue on the race. Or should I say, the season, of course, of the simulator. And as in for that, looks like Alejandro was warning Duncan on his chances to send him home. Oh, shut up, dude. I'm not the one who is going to be just sent home on, bruh. Really, think you gotta be an idiot to think who does that. And as for Alejandro, he was just saying that he was pretty much doing so, whatever he's just saying on what's on the script. Huh. Or should I say, at least I'm doing way better than before in the finals. In the finals as often to be a wild card of a wild cards of returns, bro. Anyway, and as in for what Alejandro said, he pretty much said it was pretty true that Duncan has always been making it to the finals at some points for him to stay in there. Anyway, let's continue right on back from what Duncan had to say. You and Alejandro don't have any chances left, which you don't have have anything to begin with. At least I will have some allies to help me not to be sent home yet in the end. Oh dang! Looks like Duncan is really doing pretty well to avoid Alejandro's sneaky manipulation talk to vote off Duncan quickly in the end of the game. Ho 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 ho! La 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 la! Don't care, and not listening to what you're adding or saying. And then as in for Alejandro, he pretty much just says you. And then he left and went to the other side of the back of the plane to just pretty much chill for himself. What do you want, Sally? And as in for Sally, she's convincing Duncan to join her and Gothlistic Girl to vote off Alejandro, the sneaky manipulation of a somewhat of a manipulator, out of the show, which is going to be impossible to have him eliminated. Yeah, I'm listening to this. Go ahead. And as in for Sally, she was saying is this word that she said is that if her and Gothlistic Girl or him can win this one, and it would mean that Alejandro will be eliminated. Ho ho ho! Yikes! The sounds of that would be easy to me to say with the odds. Is that yeah, I could get rid of him, and that's a deal that I would make, Sally. Cool, Sally. That's very nice. After me and Chef were fighting over the controls of the plane to dive and somehow hit the side of the plane's wing, hit the artifact or something, and fell off on its face. God damn it! And gosh darn it! Thanks. And then as in for me, I was just gonna sneak away. As in for everyone, we're hanging out to meet me outside. It's time for the finals to start right now. And Chef is pretty mad at me. Just because I wanted to take a turn of the playing while Chef always has his fun for it. And whatever now. Never mind about that. And I'm just going to say this anyway before we get to the next one. Alright, everyone. So, for what we are going to be doing is that we are going to do something fun. And we'll have to find some eggs that are hidden in the most of the heads of each player who was out. And as in for that, it's a Easter egg hunt challenge. And if you guys do drop an egg, then it means you will have to run back down to get another egg and get to know that you'll only have to find 3 eggs that will match your head thingies. And once you do that, then move along into the cave and out while the next and last challenge will await you ahead. And also, for those who try to tell me by saying like, oh, Chris, it's not Easter, it's December. Well, yeah, absolutely no shit, by the way. Sorry for the language. But like I said, it pretty much is a little different, so don't ask. So, here are the people who were voted off the show and were copied of the head statues and were hidden inside the eggs. But remember, it was copied of their heads, by the way, near the eggs inside their heads, somehow. But like I said, by the way, it is just statues. Not the real characters, it was just the statues of their characters who were out. So the names, by the way, I'm going to call out and see who were out, by the way, in the entire season was Alejandro and Jasmine and Rosie and Lashana and Jeff and Beth and Lindsay and Danny and Bridget and Goth Boy and Izzy and Adam and Harold and Noah and Star and Heather and DJ and Gwen and Tyler and Owen and Justin and Sierra and Blanley and Katie and Sadie and Courtney. And then for last is Trent. Those were the people who were absolutely gone and eliminated in the entire season before the finale happened. So, for those, by the way, who are excited this time to see who's lucky now, let's just say how whoever's going to make the guess of staying or bye-bye. Anyway, let's get this challenge over with so that way that Chef and I can have a bit of a conversation so that way that we can get this entire challenge over with without actually being interactively bothered. So, anyways, all you guys gotta do is just find the eggs that will match your head thingies of the colors. But remember, think carefully and pick wisely of pretty much the competitors' head statues or near likely inside or outside of the eggs that will count. But remember, if they match your head thingies or whatever they're called, then you'll still go on into the challenge. But as of for now, let's begin this already. And go!